Welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life where I am taking it one day at a time, bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. So, we need to do our weekly check-in of our January budget. This is week 2, so let's get into this. So, as always, I start with my monthly budget overview because it has my expense tracker. It lets me know what expenses should have either cleared my account or cleared the credit card by the time I close out the week. Okay, so week 2 goes from January 7th to January 13th. So when we last checked in, we were talking about rent and gym membership, and we were able to put checks there. Since then, Netflix has cleared my credit card. The life insurance has cleared my credit card. I have sent an amount to my credit card number 1 of $220, though when we did our week breakdown, I had advised you that it was broken up, and just for easier for me to know that not all of it was for the bill itself, but for some expenses within that bill. So then we had to wait for the electric, credit card number 4, and storage. So I was able to check my bank account, and electric has cleared, so we're good with that. Credit card number 4 has not cleared as of yet, though the payment has been made. It will not clear probably until the weekend, so it's still sitting in my account, so I won't put a check there. And then storage has hit my credit card, so I can say that's done. We're just going to put this aside so we kind of know exactly where we're at. So then this is the spending record for my envelope system. These are the 4 categories, and I funded 3 categories in week 1. And so now what we're doing is seeing what's happening in week 2. As you can see, week 1 is already highlighted, so we're just going to highlight week 2. I'm just going to use the screen just so I know this happened in week 2. And I decided not to move the money back to the personal category, and I'll tell you why when we get into the credit card expenses. So as you can see, for gas actually went into the negative. Gas went up. I knew it went up. I know. And I didn't account for it because I didn't expect myself to need to fill up, but something happened and it required me to fill up sooner than I wanted to. And so I ended up going over this category. So because these categories are in one pot, I can use it. I always have some money in that particular account. I don't have to worry about overdraft and anything like that. What I usually do is when this happens, I need to reconcile this. I need to know exactly what I have remaining in this account matches, and 2, how much is left in each category. Because I went over in gas and I didn't go over in food, I need to borrow from my food category to zero out gas and to make it positive. So what I usually do is I just put here, I'll put gas, and I write it all the way out for myself, and then I'll put that $11.59 because that's the amount that I need to transfer over to gas. And so the $11.74 minus $11.59, that's going to leave me with 15 cents. So then in the gas category, what I do is I just put a deposit, and then I put the $11.59 of the deposit, and that zeroes that out. And so what I'm either going to do is, when it's just a small amount, I usually just transfer that to my savings. So I am just going to put savings here, or save, and then I'm going to put a negative 15, and then I'm going to zero that out. So that lets me know exactly that going into week 3, that these categories are all zero out and we're starting fresh. I'm not going to highlight it because I just used this pen and it actually bleeds when I do it right away, but I'll go ahead and highlight it in a little bit to ensure that these transactions happen in week 2. So let's talk about week 2. As stated expenses, the only expense that we did not pay was or has not cleared our account, was the credit card. So we actually spent $395 in that category. Based on our spending record, we can say that all $61.11 has been used. And then for gas, we can say $27.52, all of that. So then what happens is we don't close out expenses because it has a balance of $94 that needs to carry over into week 3. And we close out every other category by just putting a 0 there. So that's what I do here. So we're going to move that to the side. And then we're going to go into the expense tracker for my unbudgeted expenses. And there was nothing that that was done in that account, so that's good. When it came to our sinking funds, and I don't think I came back and talked about this, but I did. Well, I know I talked about the deposit. I spent $280.14 coming out of this account. I decided to move some of this to pay extra on my car loan. And then $5.62, of course, that came from the actual property tax. But in week 2, I didn't spend in any of those categories here. That needs to be pulled from these sinking funds. So we're good with that. Now to our expense tracker. This is the December. And let me put December. I thought I had it there, but I think I had I had the December credit card transaction on the other sheet that I have thrown away because we have completed. So there's transactions on here that still needs to be covered, but we're here. This is where we're currently at. So one thing I wanted to know is some is going on with my points. It's always off by 1 cent, and I can't figure it out. So right here, when I checked on the 8th, it was $3.34. Then it should have been $3.44, but when I went to go check before this transaction, it was $3.45. So that was like off. And I went back to make sure, and I'm using these, I'm not calculating myself. Well, I calculate them just to verify to make sure that they're right and I'm not being cheated. But I verify these amounts and these are correct. So I don't know why this fluctuates, but we're not going to worry about that. That's between them and their system. We're going to worry about this here. And I have my little cheat sheet here because I need to know exactly what I'll be using. So we had one unbudgeted, and we had a sinking fund, and let's see, unfortunately I don't see my purple highlighter, and I don't think I have like another purple highlighter anywhere. Probably do, but I'm gonna cause a ruckus, so I'm gonna just use this purple for right now. Oops, it's not that bad. And this is going to be for our envelope system. And then we have some bills that needs to be reconciled. So let's go ahead and highlight bills. I almost forgot that one. Like, what is that? So yeah, and we haven't had too much spending, so that's been good. That has been awesome. That lets me know I'm doing something right. All right, so let's talk about the transaction. So I did receive that refund that I talked about from Target. And so that is listed as a payment. And because I earn points on that particular payment, they have to take the points away. So it's not like a normal payment where it's coming out of my account, so I don't earn anything. It's when you earn points from a particular transaction. So my happy self said, okay, cool. Got this refund. And I gave myself the talk. Do not go into Target and pick up anything else. The talk. I just kept talking myself out of it. And I did. I said, no, I don't need nothing Target. Leave. So I ended up leaving. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I do need a sweatshirt. So instead of going back into Target, I said, let me run into Marshall's. I found a sweatshirt right away. Then I found another jacket, and then I said to myself, I said, I don't have just a simple black jacket for when I could run out to go to the gym. I've been using my little duster and I just don't want to keep using that. And so I ended up picking up 2 items. So that refund from Target was null at that point, because if I had just got that sweatshirt, I would have been good. That would have balanced itself out. But nope, that's not in my nature. So I went a little bit up over that, and because I did that, it became in the unbudgeted. I had 4 bill transactions to come through that posted, and then at different days. But as you can see, I went back to Target. So after I left Marshall's, I said, oh my goodness, I do need to get something from Target. So I went back into Target and purchased some items. But that was out of my envelope system, so we're good. Another thing out of the envelope system was this booking fee. So I decided to go ahead and cut my hair. Long story short, my hair was damaged back in November when I got a silk press. If you're not sure what that is, Google that, you'll figure it out. But I got one and my hair never reverted back. I tried every treatment on the market. Dollars was spent to try to get my hair to revert back, but portions of my hair would not revert back. So I finally went to go get it cut over the weekend. But where I went was just a Great Clips, and so I don't trust them to kind of style my natural hair. They can cut, no doubt. They know how to look at the hair, know the damage, and cut it. But I didn't trust the actual styling of it. So I did a thorough search of the female barber I used to go to here in my state that used to cut my hair some years ago. Finally found her and booked her, and so she used Style Seat and I used a booking fee, which I hate. I hate using Style Seat because I hate using a booking fee. I think it's the stupidest thing, and it's not like it takes what happens. It balances off. Like it takes the $1 booking fee, and then it takes $1 off your actual service. It's additional, so you're being charged to use this website. That's irritating, but okay, whatever. So that's what happened. And then Savannah needed a car wash just on the outside, and I went through the express wash because I usually do a thorough inside outside clean once a month, and then during the month I just go to the car wash to get the dust off. So yeah, that's where we're at. So in the end, the balance that was owed on this card was $357.01. So the first thing first, what we're going to do today, and today is the 14th, and we're going to make a payment. So the first payment we're going to make is actually going to be $72.84. And I found an easier way to break down my payments, and I'm going to do that going forward. So I show that when I do my February setup. But this particular payment is going to come out of, just a second. Oh, excuse me. Okay, what I was saying is this particular payment is actually going to come from my bills account. So The amount of transactions for the bills is $11.89, $14.93, $38.54. I don't know why it's doing this little hopping situation. I don't like that. So and $7.48. So that's $72.84. So we're just gonna put our dots there because that's gonna cover these transactions. So we're good with that. And so we'll calculate that later. So we're just gonna put payment here, and of course there's no cost associated with that. The next payment I'm gonna make is actually out of my envelope system, and it's going to be $91.39. And that's only because even though I have been doing the spending record that you've been seeing, I just don't move the money right away. And so I need to go ahead and reconcile and start moving the money. So because we get money coming in, and I just like to make sure it's balancing out. So $91.39 is a payment I'm going to make, and that's going to come from our envelope system. So all the transactions with our envelope system, I'm just going to put a dot there. There's one up here, and we have one here. All right, so all of that is taken care of. The next payment I need to make is I need to go ahead and make my sinking funds payment. So that is $31.30. So again, another payment. And so we're just gonna go to the sinking funds. And funny story is that beauty supply purchase, I just bought some hair that I have at this present time because I'm not getting my hair braided. So yeah. And if you don't know, now you know, you just can't return to the beauty supply. So that's okay. So then the last payment I'm actually going to make, and again, these actually are separate accounts. So I am going to make 4 separate payments. And I did check this particular credit card. I don't have a limit of when I can do it. I have a limit of how many I can add to the payment system, but it's not, I can make as many payments as I would like. So what I'll do is I usually just transfer money from one account to the other and just make the one lump sum. If I need to do that, like into one account, but I'll make the 4 payments so I can distinctly see the different ones. So if I think, did I explain that right? So I'm going to make 4 payments regardless, but I'm only going to make it out of 3 accounts. There we go. And that's going to be $161.48. And this is actually going to be for all of the unbudgeted charges that I have made over the last month or so, I would say. So that's going to close out of that. Then we're going to go here. We're going to close out of here. And oh, I'm all in the wrong spot. Let's put them in the right spot. And then right here. So as you can see, every transaction that's not green has a dot. Let me know that they have been covered based on my payments. And so let's go ahead and calculate this. I am zeroing out of this credit card. The reason why I am zeroing out this credit card is because I need a clean slate. And I'm just going to go back here and just highlight, because if I don't do it now, I forget. But what's been happening is I am forgetting. Not forgetting, but I'm just making these transactions that I shouldn't be making. So I need to focus and on not making any further unbudgeted transactions, because I believe it's messing with my ability to pay extra towards a debt. And that's, if we're paying off debt, we need to pay off debt. We don't need to do no unbudgeted spending that we can avoid. And these transactions we can avoid. Like I said, that for Marshalls, this could have been avoided simply because I've already made a covered transaction. There was no reason to go further by buying more than one item in the store. This one, even though it's unbudgeted, it was still covered, so we're good to go with that one. For this unbudgeted, I could have waited for stickers. I had an order of stickers already waiting to be delivered, so there was no rush to do this. The nail appointment, I could have been more strategic in when I did this and actually budget for this, but like I said, that this is what happens. So when my nails start looking raggedy, I just don't want to wait, and so I go to get them done. This is irking me that my nails look like this. I rather them no polish than have, messed up nails needing, fill-ins and stuff like that. So this is irking me, but I am teaching myself, if this bothers you, then you need to come up with a solution that will benefit you in your pockets. And if you're paying this twice a month, you can't put extra towards your debt. So what do you need to do to help you with your nails? And that's the same thing I've been talking to myself about my hair. I was going to be getting my hair done every month, like in braids, and that can be $100, $150 depending on what style. That $150 can go towards something else. So what do you need to do, Dean? You need to get your hair cut to a style that you can manage yourself, that don't require you spending all the coins. So, and then lastly, the Target unbudgeted. Me and Target, we had a thing, and we're breaking up. It's going to be hard, but we're going to break up, and it's going to be messy, but we're going to get through it. I'm gonna get through it. So this is how I reconcile my week at this present time. We have closed out of week 1, week 2 transactions. So when we get paid, which we've already been paid, we just haven't gone in and did any budgeting of that particular paycheck. But of course, we will be doing that shortly, and you'll be seeing these shortly. All right. In the meantime, in between time, y'all, peace out.